This is the final episode of Pitstop, and I bet you guys thought I was gonna say the same thing. Thank you guys for supporting and watching the show. Now, on to your host, Tech Girl.
We started this show when Overwatch Contenders Europe Season 3 began, and each week we've recapped the week's action from broadcast as well as showcase some of the teams and players. However, this week and this edition of Pitstop is going to be a little bit different. The regular season is now complete. All 5 weeks have been played, and how it all started was we had 12 teams. We split them into 2 groups of 6. They played over these 5 weeks to get wins and points on the board because the top 4 teams in each group progressed to playoffs. In playoffs, we'll obviously have quarterfinals, semi-finals, and then a final which will determine our Season 3 winners. Again, like I mentioned, this week a little bit different. So instead of recapping week 5's action, what we wanted to do was kind of give you a little bit more information about each of our top 8 teams. This will help you find the team that you want to support when we get into playoffs. So let's get right into it. These are your top 8 teams for Overwatch Contenders Europe Season 3. Morning Stars came together following the disband of Season 2 winners Eagle Gaming. As Mozasa told Pitstop in week 4, this team was actually formed to win. And so far that is exactly what they've done. They are undefeated moving into playoffs, and they're also arguably one of the favorites to take this competition. 1Point first found their way into Contenders in Season 2. Created by Horthick and Fat, the team has really come into their own in Season 3. They finished top of their group, and they actually surprised some of the old guard with their extremely strong GOATS play. They also, again, arguably have some of the strongest DPS players on the roster, which means they'll be a threat regardless of the meta. Horthick told Pitstop the team's goal is to showcase their skill and hopefully find their way into an academy team, or better yet, Overwatch League. Angry Titans have been a firm favorite throughout 2018 Contenders. Finishing in the top 4 in Season 1 and runners-up in Season 2, this team is beloved by many, and their hashtag, StayAngry, can be seen spammed in chat every time they play. This season has actually been a little bit shaky for the Titans. They lost to relative unknowns Shoes Money Crew EU, and they also suffered a surprise loss in week 5 against British Hurricane. The lineup has remained relatively unchanged since the start of the year. Ellivote, Urki, Luddy, Afox, Onigod, and Lalsish are familiar names in Contenders, and they're all ready to be noticed and ultimately picked up, which is what the path to pro is all about. However, the team needs to redeem themselves moving into playoffs if they want to keep hold of that favorites tag. Team Giganti is much like Angry Titans. They're a season favorite in the Contenders competition. They were surprisingly knocked out of the finals contention in Season 2, courtesy of Eagle Gaming, and then they had to suffer a little bit of a roster shuffle, with 3 members leaving for Overwatch League glory before the start of Season 3. Davin has remained the rally point for 3 seasons, and with his guidance, this team continually flourishes. He is consistently credited as a player that allows others to pop off. His time is now. Joined by Overwatch League players Zappos and Zuppa, as well as some new superstar talents and a few well-known Contenders favorites, Giganti will be looking to claim top spot in this competition and regain their top dog reputation that followed them when we started Contenders in 2018. The only academy team in the competition, British Hurricane, entered Season 3 under pressure. Their poor showing in Season 2 stuck like glue, and they suffered a roster shuffle as well when many of their players headed to Overwatch League. Much like Giganti, they have had to find their feet while still dealing with the pressure of expectation. After beating Angry Titans in week 5, we finally saw the team many expected, and the addition of Danit's Doomfist can make all the difference in a close game. Hurricane goes into the playoffs off the back of a tumultuous season, but with the sparkle of something explosive yet to come. Windstrike is possibly the fan favorite. The team's lineup has stayed solid since Season 1, when they were then known as CIS Hope. After signing with Windstrike mid-Season 2, the team has continued to showcase incredible and inventive play that perplexes teams and amazes viewers. By their own admission, this season's meta has been tough for them. They've relied heavily on a May composition, which is, at times, showed up by some of the stronger teams. Will they be able to adapt to something new come playoffs? And now for the surprises. Shoes Money Crew EU was an unknown mishmash coming into the season. While they had players we'd seen before, they weren't exactly considered a contender for finals, until they beat Angry Titans early in the season. They've put on a really good performance and have said they enjoy being underestimated. Expect a potential upset with these guys. Let's chat a little bit about the Dark Horse, or Lion if you want to use their logo for reference. HSL Esports did not originally qualify for Contenders. After Eagle Gaming disbanded, they were able to take the slot in Season 3 based off their finish in Trials. Since then, they've proven that any doubts were unfounded and no one should be written off, regardless of Trials' performance. This team secured their top 4 spots in week 4 and could easily bring about the biggest upsets as we move into playoffs. Here's a fun drinking game. Take a shot every time Tech36 eats an ulti in games. If you can still stand after the game, he probably had a bad day. And there you have it. 8 teams, but only one will be able to claim the title of Overwatch Contenders Europe Season 3 winners. However, 2 analysts get to claim the win in our prediction desk competition that we've been running throughout this series of Pitstop. Every week, the analysts sit on a desk and they make predictions as to who they think will win. These are the final scores. Leg Day had to take a sick day, and then Hurricane messed up his perfect record, which allowed Jaws to catch up. So, the pretty boy casters take the win and win nothing, because everyone knows that predictions on the desk don't really matter. And with that, it's time for us to say goodbye. This is the last episode of Pitstop. The goal was always to showcase Tier 2 Overwatch and hopefully get you excited about Contenders. I really hope that we did that, and I hope that you've enjoyed the series. If you have, please let us know in the comments below, because we're seriously considering maybe doing more of these into 2019, and we'd love to hear from you. Also, while you're at it, let me know who your favorite team is going into playoffs. I want to say a really big thank you to Trynock. He is the producer of the show. He's a huge Overwatch fan, he's a shoutcaster, and he's also incredible at what he does. I came to him with an idea, he made it happen, and every single week he knocks it out of the park. His memes are also pretty much on point, so thank you very much to Trynock and to every single person who supported the show and watched it, as well as to the players and the teams who made themselves available for our late night interviews.
I heart you. It means heart you, like I love you.
Overwatch Contenders Europe Season 3 playoffs start on the 8th of January at 6 p.m. CET. We'll have 4 days of action, and by the end of it, we will have a winner. I cannot wait. It's going to be exciting, and hopefully we'll see you in the chat. Until then, goodbye.
Thank you guys for watching the show and supporting Tier 2 Overwatch. After all, that's what it's all about, getting these crazy teams out there. A huge shout out to Blizzard for allowing us to use match footage, highlight reels, and all that fun stuff. Until next time, you guys stay epic.